I'm 4 years in Australia, and I've always been maintaining on my Twitter that this is the greatest country I've been in. And the reason it's great is not because somebody has given me a hand out. It's because there are work. I came in and I work. I can't remember a year since I came to Australia I paid less than $50,000 in tax. The only year I'm going to pay less tax is the year that the land will lock me in. I didn't ask anybody to give me anything. I asked to be free to do my work.
I wasn't going to come to this protest until it was sold to me on 3AW this morning. How are you feeling about that interview?
It was interesting. I was not expecting Neil to say some of the things that he said, but he's his own man. He can say whatever he wants, and I think I had a response to it. So,
what's your reason for leaving home?
To support the demonstration.
But that's not what... See, that's an immediate breach of the law.
Well, Luke Cornelius said you can leave for leisure. This is a form of leisure.
It's a form of leisure. Okay.
Well, what do you think?
Well, Luke Cornelius wasn't that generous when he's talking to me. He's talking about various ways of charging you, one being breach of the regulations at the shrine, the other being how you leave home, the other being not wearing masks, all those sort of things.
Yeah. Well, Luke Cornelius can't make up his mind. He must have smacked his head when he got out of bed in the morning, because the other week he's saying that protest is unlawful. For Black Lives Matter it was lawful, even though Shane Patton on your phone came on and said that the Black Lives Matter protest was unlawful. So, I think Luke Cornelius might be a bit confused about things, so maybe he's not the best person to be taking advice from.
All right, well, he's the person in charge of this, so all the best. So you're not going to cause any trouble, are you? You don't want to get arrested or something like that?
No.
No, all right.
I'm not a troublemaker.
Well, okay. Thank you, Morgan Jonas, anti-lockdown protester.
Who do you think won that debate?
Well, I think that's probably a question that should be answered by the people. I mean, personally, I'm a bit biased. I think Neil didn't have all that much.
I was talking about...
You'd have to give it to me, but that's up to the people to decide.
No, I was talking about Biden, Trump, but that's cool. No.
People are depressed and anxious. I know people who are like $300,000-$400,000 in debt now because their businesses have gone to the wall.
I supported the lockdown at first when we didn't quite know what was going on, but then at some point it just got, well past the tipping point where doing a lot more harm than we are good, and I think it's very visible, but, the government just doesn't want to listen, and they don't want to own up to their own mistakes, and that's absolutely awful,
On one hand, he cares about civil liberties and issues that are going on in the United States. The next second, he's against everyday Victorians who have lost their businesses that simply want to get out and express their views regarding a corrupt premier, this thug running our state called Daniel Andrews. So this guy's basically a puppet on strings.
It doesn't take more than what we saw when the pregnant mother was arrested to reach Nigeria. The police action is actually creating distrust between us and them. We cannot do without police. That's number one. The police are standing right there are our main reason why this state is functioning. They cannot allow themselves to be used by a politician to create that distrust.
I wanted to be a policewoman. I was so close to being a policewoman myself. And now I'm watching them and I'm thinking, shame. These guys wanted to be policemen and look after people, and what do they have to do? Tell us we're not allowed to hug in the street?
Your brother's been arrested in the crowd?
Yeah, he's been taken to Melbourne West Police Station. That's what we got told.
Did you see Did you see it happen?
Yeah, I was right there. I was on the front line. The guy that was speaking on the megaphone, talking, peacefully, telling to love the cops and, that they're one of us as well. And they came and they violently took him away, put him in a headlock. And that's when we tried to grab him out because they were throwing punches, man.
The police?
The police were throwing punches.
I actually have a Latvian background and I've seen communist regimes, my relatives taken to slave labour camps. That's why I have a strong activism gene to actually want people to speak out about the truth, because there's always so much propaganda in the world. And we've proven there's so much corruption that's happened in the government recently, as you've obviously been reporting on. So thank God for people like you that are speaking out.
My parents are from China. I was actually
mainland?
born there. Yeah, mainland, yeah. I actually have a grandfather who got sent to a labour camp for 3-4 years back in communist China for political speech.
So how do you feel, with that background, about what's happening in Victoria?
I think it's awful.
If you like this report and you find it as important as we do to tell it, for us to be on the front line here in Melbourne to tell the truth, make sure to share it far and wide. And also hit the like button below to spread the love. Most importantly, make sure to subscribe to Rebel News on YouTube so you don't miss a thing.